please introduce yourself first. Tell a little bit about your work and your introduction to the theme. So we'll start with Muhammad. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for the great intro, and very happy to be with you here. Assalamu alaikum to everyone here as well. And thank you for the Electronic University for organizing such an amazing event. We're proud to be a partner and a sponsor of this event. Classera, as some of you may know, is the biggest edtech company when it comes to the MENA and part of Africa region, working in over 35 countries. And we started, many of us know us as a company that started in the US, in San Francisco, but since the beginning we had a focus in emerging market. How can we revolutionize e-learning? How can we revolutionize the engagement when it comes to the learning process? We started from day one of how to make learning process. We want to make the learning process more inspiring, more personalized, more collaborative, using gamification, AI, and social learning. We got to see some of the interesting results that we're going to share with you in today's presentation and session. And we were honored to serve more than 10 ministries of education as learning platform, and we have served all categories. I mean, we call them K to grade, from kindergarten to schools to universities to corporate training, in what we called our LSP, or the Learning Super Platform, that have a gamified learning system and a payment solution, a marketplace for education products, and much more. A lot of experiences, a lot of stories that we have seen from emerging market, especially in MENA, Africa, APAC region. We'll discuss some of that in our inclusive education discussion today, and so look forward to the discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll do as best as I can. Okay, we'll start with Mohammed. You have been working in over 30 countries. How would you describe the current situation of inclusiveness in education, especially in the emerging markets?
So that's very, very interesting, because as I told you, yes, even though we started in San Francisco, in the Silicon Valley, we focus on emerging market, and we start to see different type of challenges and impact. But what we have seen when we start doing this concept of LSP, of the Learning Store platform, with as I said in the beginning, with gamification, AI, and social learning, we started to see the impact. And with emerging markets, actually, some of the cities that we worked with surprised us even more. So some of the countries we worked with had some difficulties, challenges in the infrastructure. So we thought it would be some of the weakest in terms of engagement. We work in not just in countries like Saudi and the Gulf states. We work in countries in Africa. We're in the border of Yemen. So some of those countries, the engagement level in some of even smaller cities were, the engagement per student were higher than some of the cities with a big population or more developed infrastructure. Of course, for the students who did have infrastructure, some of them, I remember in the project when we did in the border of Yemen, students would go to some one house in the village that have internet connectivity, and they all connect from there. But they're super engaged in a way, like in this, as I told you, one of the experiments we have done is they used to have normal schools, then they went to this virtual school that we helped them with, and the teacher and the parent started reporting how they were interacting a lot more than even their normal level before using technology. This generation, of course, their language, the way they speak is they speak technology. The way how they play games is different than playing games in 20 or 30 years ago. And that's why when you talk to them, education's supposed to talk to them in their language. So having technology, but not any technology. When you have gamification and trying to gamify the process itself, then you're going to get the best out of those students. We're going to include a lot more segments. So we started to see some of the students who normally in a normal classroom would be just in the back, not thinking of anything. Because of the gamification, you get to see them doing a lot more. So we have so many ways into how we've done the gamification. One of the examples, we have a scoring system that classifies students into green, gold, diamond, and then we get the companies and the local companies in each country to reward those students based on these points. So all of a sudden, we started seeing students going for the teacher, and about students in rural area even, going to the teacher and begging for another assignment. Why? You say, teacher, I have that many points to be a gold member. Can you give me just another assignment? Please, I just need this. So we start seeing the gamification work, and that includes students that would, in a normal setting, only the top students would compete. But when you apply gamification AI, you can even include some of the students who are going in the back. Even about students who are with disabilities. We have seen in one of our experiments working with blind schools. So we have some blind students, and also they surprised us with their results. Their results are competing neck to neck with some of the normal students. Because again, when you gamify the process, when it's a big game for them, when you put education, technology in a way that is very inclusive, it get some of those underprivileged students to do more than what they do normally. So I would argue, especially in emerging markets, actually the effect is even more. It's going to include a lot more layers of those students. It's going to include a lot more of the underprivileged students, whether financially, whether in disabilities. And we have seen it. We have seen it in some of the countries we worked with in Africa, some of the countries we worked with I told you, in Yemen, Iraq, Lebanon, you name it. We actually, we were surprised in the pandemic time. Based on Alexa, which was one of the independent source, we had one of the highest engagement in e-learning industry globally. We got, actually based on that, an award. Microsoft, I guess, in their annual event, put us as the partner of the year, the best edtech company in the world in their portfolio, because of the engagement level that we have seen. And most of the countries we focus on are emerging markets. So that's what I would argue the case. So we need more of that, especially after the pandemic, and the need is there and the proof is there.
You have all been talking about compassionate learning, the need for interactive and engaging content, student-centric approach to education. What do you see as the biggest potential for education and learning with the digital transformation now and onwards? Starting with Mohammed.
Okay, yeah, I guess the potential is huge, not just because what we just mentioned, that it's going to include a lot more of the students that weren't involved normally in the traditional classroom. It will include the underprivileged in terms of the disabilities. But actually, the potential of digital learning with more use of AI and data mining, you can help the student, whether he's the top performer or the low performer, to be a better student. So we're working in many programs where we can give data to the student himself, to his parents, to his teacher, into how to better help that particular student. Because personalization of learning is one of the biggest challenges. And throughout the ages, we wanted to solve that problem, but the teacher can do so much. If you have 20, 30 students, he cannot just give each one, understand the path of each one. Technology, on the other side, started already. It's not even a matter of when. It's already started to give this personalized path to a student. And we have seen it in an example. With Classera, we have done a program called Smart Mate. So basically, it will analyze all your strengths and weaknesses and start to give you some suggestion into where you should focus, where you should do more, what are you lacking. And you can see the difference, the impact on the students and the learner, and even his instructor, into where we could be more efficient. So basically, with the better use of data and AI, and especially with the AI is getting even more and more accurate, you can get more personalized experience and more efficient learning process into exactly what each student need, which at the end of the day gonna be inclusive, because each student is different. There's a big spectrum, and what we really need is to give each student, each learner, his own learning experience at his own pace, and try to accelerate each student one at a time. Technology has started to do so. We start seeing that, and I think the best is yet even to come in this field.
Thank you. Thank you.
فليتفضل وكيل الجامعة سعادة الدكتور وافل بلوي لتسليم الدرع.
شكرا.